everybody, and welcome to this special on the Sun transiting in Aries. I'm Amani. I'm a karmic, holistic, astrological life coach, and I like to go in depth in all that I do, and all of my interpretations, especially when it comes to Venus, Mercury, Sun transits and everything really, are based on Vedic astrology, which is based on where the planets or the luminaries, which are the Sun and the Moon, are any given time in the sky. And all times are in GMT time as well. So yeah, thanks for listening, and yeah. So this year, the Sun transits in Aries from the 13th of April at 10:52 until the 14th of May at 9:42, when the Sun enters Taurus. So yeah, so when the Sun's in Aries, it triggers our inner drive and it motivates us to take action. This energy is all about leaning into and owning your true authentic self and pursuing your passions, going after your goals and stepping into your power. So positively, the Sun in Aries supercharges our energy levels and motivation, helping us address, tackle goals and challenges with renewed passion. It brings out our inner leader, encouraging and supporting us to take charge and pioneer new ideas and projects. Aries' adventurous spirit inspires us to step out of our comfort zone and embrace new experiences. It also increases our self-esteem, helping us feel more confident and self-assured. This is a great time to express our individuality and assert our independence and freedom, allowing our true selves to shine, you know. Negatively, the fiery energy and impulsiveness of Aries may make us all act without thinking, leading to impulsive decisions. Aries' competitive nature can bring out a more aggressive style in our words and actions, so we have to be mindful of how we, relate to, interact with others. We can also just become impatient. The desire to move quickly can lead to frustration with any delays that may come up, even, if we're told about them. We may just not want to deal with the slowness, especially if we really want a deal to go through, or we're waiting on the action, or things are just going slower paced than what we really want. The Sun in Aries can turn up our ego, increasing it, amplifying it, causing us to focus more on our own needs and less on others. We can all just kind of disrespect each other's boundaries, so it's best to speak your mind, be honest, but also allow others to do so as well. We may overlook others, in the rush to get our goals completed. We might unintentionally neglect the feelings of others and even our own needs, so we have to make sure we're taking care of our sleep needs, our eating needs, our exercising need, our need for water and stuff like that. The best use of this energy is to start new projects or goals, whether it's personal or professional plans. Now is the time to take brave steps forward, doing the things physically like sports or weights or adventurous hobbies that use the excess energy of Aries, because fiery energy, Mars wants to do stuff, so we have to make sure we let out all that pent up energy, to maintain the balance. It wants us to step into our leadership abilities, taking charge of situations, taking charge of our life, becoming empowered, using initiative and vision can make a difference. Having that foresight, going after what you want, balancing action with self-reflection. It's great to be action orientated right now, but remember to pause and reflect to avoid impulsive decisions. Cultivate, develop and practice empathy. Make an effort to be patient with yourself and others, and consider other people's perspectives to maintain harmony in relationships, you know. The sun in Aries is a powerful transit that, you know, motivates our inner fire and drives us to embrace our true potential. While it brings challenges like impulsiveness, ego dominance, and people not respecting each other's boundaries, it offers incredible opportunities for growth, leadership, and self-expression. And by channeling this energy wisely and maintaining balance, we can navigate, you know, work through this period with confidence and make meaningful strides, you know, progress towards our goals. So that was the summary version. Now I'm going to talk about how to use the sun in Aries practically a bit more, the financial meanings, psychological, the hidden esoteric meanings, the karmic meanings, how it affects our relationships, and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm going to dive really deep. So practically, as I said, it wants us and helps us to stay productive and focus, giving us the energy to do the things that we've been putting off. It wants us to empower ourselves and take charge in our own life. Some of you may take charge of a group, leaning into or finding your natural leadership skills, you know. Negatively, you know, without the proper planning, the impulsiveness may make us rush into decisions, and this can lead to mistakes. We can experience burnout. Overexerting ourselves without rest can lead to us, you know, burning out. So we have to remember to balance action with relaxation, work with play. And Aries' competitive nature can sometimes lead to unnecessary conflicts or power struggles. In terms of financial meanings, it really allows us and inspires us to tap into our entrepreneurial spirit, starting new business ventures or side hustles that can potentially increase our income. It gives us the energy and confidence to make brave financial moves, leading to significant returns. It can motivate us to work towards financial independence, helping us achieve our money goals. Negatively, Aries' impulsive nature can lead to unnecessary purchases or risky financial decisions. While brave moves can pay off, they also carry higher risks. So, you know, we have to carefully weigh up our options financially, because without proper planning, the desire for quick financial gains can lead to debt, and we don't want that. So yes, go ahead, take those risks, but make sure the strategic risks, right? Make a plan. Do not gamble or risk more than you're willing to lose, you know. In terms of the political influences, it can make us more decisive as leaders, driving progress and change. It can lead to quick action on political reforms, addressing, confronting long-standing issues with renewed energy. Aries' passion can motivate political movements, encouraging us to stand up for what we believe in and our rights, you know. But negatively, the aggressive nature of Aries, once again, can increase political tension and conflicts. Decisions made in haste, you know, quickly without thorough consideration might lead to unstable policies. Competitive energy can result in power struggles within political parties or governments or between different parties and nations and stuff. In terms of the materialistic, social, collective meanings, the sun in Aries can drive technological advancements and social progress, pushing society forward. As individuals, it empowers us to take charge of our lives, developing a sense of personal independence. It can also inspire us to work together in our communities, families and friendship groups on initiatives that bring people together for common goals and the common good. Negatively, the focus on material success can lead to increased consumerism and a focus on status. Competition over cooperation can sometimes overshadow the importance of teamwork and collaboration. Social inequality, you know, without mindful action, the emphasis on individual success may get in the way or make social inequalities worse, you know. Psychologically, it boosts our confidence, helping us feel more ready to take on new challenges. As I said, it's a great energy, you know. It's the start of the astrological new year. We just had the summer solstice, you know, so, you know, the sun in Aries wants us to and provides us with the motivation to go after our goals and ambitions and take action, set goals, refine them, embracing our inner leader and inspiring and guiding ourselves and others. But the impatience and fiery energy can just make us upset. As I said earlier, if things don't move as quick as we like, we can be competitive with others, and this can place a strain on relationships if we don't manage this energy constructively, and we can just act on impulse without considering the consequences that can lead to us regretting things. We just have to watch out for that. We have to think about the consequences before we go and do the things that we need to do, and making sure we respect other people's boundaries as well. And the only person we need to compete with is our old self, never other people, because we've all got different abilities, different skills, different life paths and all of that, So in terms of spiritual meanings, it can help us connect with our inner triggers, guiding us toward our true purpose and passion. It's a great energy to use for self-reflection, helping us understand our values and what truly fulfills us and makes us happy. This transit empowers us to realign our actions with our high purpose and develop a sense of direction and meaning. But negatively, it can lead to us being self-centered and neglecting others' needs, causing imbalance in relationships, and our ego inflation can make us prioritize our own desires over the greater good, and we can just feel disconnected from our relationships and spiritual practices and inner peace because we focus too much on the material self, and meeting our sexual needs and other needs and not the spiritual ones. In terms of the esoteric hidden meanings, it can bring hidden energies or desires to the surface, and this can help us understand our true motivations, our shadow side, our inner world, our inner self. It's a time to release old patterns on the karmic level that no longer serve us, promoting more personal growth, balance and freedom. This transit empowers us to take brave and be courageous and be warrior types, and just really focus on what you really want and make a strategic plan for your goals as well. But negatively, our unconscious fears and resistances can get in the way of our progress, and the hidden waves of anger, the frustration and resentment that this energy can bring up, we need to acknowledge them and heal them rather than take it out on others or hide from them, and the resistance to change and holding on to old patterns that don't align with our past can stop us from growing, so we have to try and do our best to step by step let go of the things that are harming us really. In terms of the symbolic and creative meanings, it's really, energy for initiating new creative projects or restarting them, bringing fresh ideas and goals. It's a time to express ourselves authentically, leaning into and owning our unique style and vision, and it just triggers us to think outside of the box and explore new possibilities. Negatively, our impulsive creative decisions, making them without considering the long-term consequences can just make our efforts and energy wasted. So make sure the things that you start are things you can follow through on. Sometimes starting some projects we may have to give up halfway through. This is just life. But sometimes we can know that maybe that that moonbolt thingy that you may want to design may not pay off. And we can just have an overemphasis on action. Yes, this energy wants us to take action, but we shouldn't neglect the need for strategic planning and self-reflection in order for our plans to be successful. And we can just experience creative blocks as well if we don't balance action with rest, and emotionally it can make us more excited and adventurous, making life feel a bit more vibrant and engaging. It helps us build emotional resilience, enabling us to handle challenges with confidence and strength. It's a time to form passionate and meaningful connections and develop deeper emotional bonds. Negatively, Aries nature, as I said, the fiery energy can make us emotionally impatient and restless. We may tire of the inner and shadow work, and just be like, oh, I'm so tired of all of this. But if we keep on doing it, we can get past it and learn to be more self-aware and emotional intelligent as well. And and our emotions, acting on them without considering our own feelings and others can cause conflicts within and without, and we can just have emotional burnout because the lack of balance can lead to emotional exhaustion. So it's important to prioritize self-care and take time out and go as slow or as fast as you need to, but slowly, and just trying to be gentle with yourself as you explore your inner world. So now I'm just going to talk about the aspects influencing the Sun transit in Aries and what they bring to the table. So the Sun semi-sextile to Venus allows us to be diplomatic and resolve conflicts, making us more charming and pleasant and more attentive, and this can just make us feel more attractive and bring balance in our relationships. It adds to us being also creative. So does the Sun semi-sextile to Uranus, adds to us being independent and expressing our individuality and brings new ideas. It can also allow us to be just more willing to take on life's challenges. The Sun semi-sextile to Saturn allows us to take a disciplined approach to goals. We can feel more focused and serious about achieving our ambitions. The Sun semi-sextile to the North Node allows us to align our actions with our higher purpose, and we can feel guided towards meaningful and purposeful plans. The Sun's bioquintal to the midheavens is nice subtle energy that allows us to be more creative and inspired by our career plans. We may look to new career plans. We may reignite our passion for our current ideas and have ideas to make it more better, and ideas that can help us stand out in our professional life. But the Sun square to Mars can make us impatient and add to us having conflict with others because it can turn up our assertiveness. So we just have to be mindful of how we express our energy and avoid unnecessary competition. The Sun's conjunction to Chiron helps us to be vulnerable, and past wounds, psychological, emotional, spiritual trauma may come up, but this energy allows us to heal them. And the Sun's quincunx to the South Node can create a pull between going back to our old patterns, staying in them, staying in our comfort zone and moving towards our future growth. So it reminds us of the need to release past habits and to move forward. So practically we can use these energies to stay grounded and focused, embrace our creativity, be pleasant and grounded, giving ourselves and others safe spaces to express our emotions, and practice active listening and stay focused and serious about our goals, and make meaningful and purposeful plans to, move forward in our lives as well. We can just feel more inspired and to move forward and lean into an own new growth. Also, now I'm going to talk about the transiting aspect patterns that are active when the Sun is moving into Aries this year, which will flavour the whole period. So we've got a T-square with Mars in Cancer, the Moon in Libra and Pluto in Capricorn. So this allows us to make changes. Libra's energy helps us to find harmony in our relationships, and Mars in Cancer allows us to have emotional sensitivity that can balance, the Sun's in Aries braveness and over impulsiveness. It supports us with seeking balance, but it can also add to the inner conflict, and it asks for us to find a middle ground and compromise between taking action and bringing balance, and creating harmony in our relationships. Pluto in Capricorn adds the pressure for us to transform old patterns and gives us that grounded energy to do so as well, and evolve and change beyond our limitations. The grand trine between Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Neptune and the North Node in Pisces, and Mars in Cancer and Ascendant in Scorpio. All this water energy is allowing us to have a smooth flow of energy that increases our intuition and creativity, and allows us to align our actions with our authentic personal values and spiritual growth. And the Pisces energy, with lots of planets there, helps us to be more empathetic to ourselves and others, and we can act with compassion and creativity in finding solutions to our problems. And Mars in Cancer and the Ascendant in Scorpio intensifies our passion and motivation, encouraging us to be open to depth and intensity. And the stellium between Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Neptune and the North Node in Pisces again encourages us to use our imagination, align with our spiritual growth and high purpose. And Saturn in Pisces adds discipline to our spiritual practices and helps us to focus on meaningful long-term spiritual goals. So, practically to use this energy, balance being brave with being sensitive, use our intuition and creativity, and embrace change. So now I'm just going to talk about the karmic meanings and lessons of the transit sun in Aries. So the karmic lessons, the first one is leaning into and owning our independence and relying on ourselves. It's time to break free from codependent patterns and trust our inner guidance, giving up the people pleasing, working through issues that we have with asserting ourselves so we can become more independent and learn to trust our own self and build the skills that we need to help us become more psychological, emotionally, spiritually aware, and any other skills, focus on our, career, upgrading our career skills or our educational skills and stuff like that. It also wants us to take brave steps and teaches us to embrace our inner warrior and overcome fears and self-doubts and take initiative in our life. It wants us to balance competition and cooperation, highlighting the need for healthy competition, learning to balance our drive, our motivation drive, with cooperation and teamwork. It wants us to heal impulsiveness. It wants us to become more mindful and encouraging us to think before we act and react and consider the consequences of our words and actions. Also wants us to work on building our self-love, worth, respect, forgiveness as well. It's a call for us to accept ourselves fully, and it's a time to recognize our worth and embrace our true identity. In terms of the past life memories and dreams that can come up, we may recall past lives as a warrior or leader where we had to make tough decisions and take charge. These memories can come up to help us embrace our current leadership qualities. Past conflicts and battles can come up, offering insights into how we handle challenges and point out areas where we can improve our approach to conflict resolution. We may remember times when we had to stand alone and assert our independence in this life or past lives, and these memories or dreams can guide us in our current situations where we need to establish boundaries and be brave and stand up for ourselves. Past life experiences with impulsiveness where our impulsiveness led to negative outcomes can come up, teaching us the importance of mindfulness and careful decision making. In terms of collective karma, there can be global conflicts and competitive mindsets that come to light, and this is a call for humanity to move beyond division and embrace cooperation. There can be a focus on the misuse of power and leadership. It's an opportunity for collective healing by promoting ethical and responsible leadership. Gender roles and equality issues can come up. It's time to address and heal these imbalances, developing equality and mutual respect for ourselves and others. Also, we may just focus collectively on how we damage the earth, and it's asking us to take action towards more sustainability and being in harmony with nature, so we just become more eco-friendly, even those who have resisted doing so, So ultimately, the sun's transit in Aries is a powerful catalyst, motivator for karmic healing and growth. And by, working with the issues of independence, brave, being more courageous and mindfulness in our day-to-day life, we can confront past life and current life patterns that are getting in the way of our growth and, just contribute to the collective healing of humanity. And just remember to balance your motivation drive with cooperation and self-love, and this can lead to more balance and purpose in your life. So now I'm just going to talk about how the sun in Aries affect our relationships. So in terms of family relationships, it can bring more energy and activity to family life. It encourages us all to take charge of our responsibilities. Family members may feel more motivated to lead and take initiative, developing a sense of teamwork and shared goals. We can just have more adventure and fun in the activities or outings, that we go on, or just have good, a good time at home, and create memorable family experiences. But negatively, we can be impatient, and this can cause short tempers, short fuses, causing minor conflicts, so we just have to watch out for that. We can just become more competitive with each other, leading to rivalries, I'm better than you, no, I'm better than you sort of talk, and bring in more tension. There can be clashes in opinions as well, and this can cause disagreements if family members have different opinions. In terms of our friendships, the sun in Aries brings excitement and a desire for new experience, making this a great time to plan adventures with friends. We can just be more open to spontaneous plans, keeping the friendship dynamic fun, and we can just feel more inspired in our friendship group to start new goals or restart old goals and challenges together. But negatively, once again, the competitive nature of Aries can just make us rival each other and focus on individual achievements over teamwork. We can be more impulsive, and this can cause a strain in the relationship. And the brave and assertive nature of Aries can bring disagreements and conflict to our friendships if we don't manage this energy constructively. In terms of our co-worker relationships, the sun transit in Aries can just bring a dynamic and energetic vibe to the workplace, inspiring innovation and us taking the initiative. Colleagues may feel more confident in taking charge of projects, developing a sense of leadership and responsibility. The competitive nature of Aries can drive colleagues to work hard and strive for excellence. Negatively, Aries' assertive nature can lead to power struggles or conflicts over leadership roles. The focus on individual goals might reduce teamwork and collaboration. Colleagues might become impatient, leading to rushed decisions or incomplete tasks. In terms of committed couples, the sun in Aries can reignite, trigger, motivate passion and us being spontaneous in relationships, bringing back, the passion. We can want to go on more adventures together as a couple, being open to trying new experiences and deepening our connections. Partners may take more of an initiative to plan dates and surprise each other, keeping a relationship exciting. But negatively, impatience and impulsiveness can cause a desire for immediate gratification, and this can take the focus off our longer term needs. So yes, have that passionate love making, but don't just use it to cover up the long standing issues. Yes, we can put them underneath the bed, so to speak, or put them to bed literally, but they'll always resurface if we don't address the underlying issues that we have in our relationship. And try and be patient as you work through each other's needs and new problems. The need for independence, one partner may want more freedom, can cause tension if not communicated effectively. So just explain, oh darling, I want some time to myself, this doesn't mean I don't love you, etc., rather than just going cold and shutting them out. And the brave and assertive nature of Aries can lead to disagreements if we don't manage this energy properly, and if we don't have empathy. In terms of hookup relationships, the sun in Aries can bring strong attraction and development, making this a great time for casual encounters. It can help us be more spontaneous in our interactions, keeping the relationship dynamic more fresh, and Aries' passionate nature can increase the physical connection between partners. But negatively, the lack of with commitment can lead towards focusing on physical attraction without emotional depth. And I know hookups are really not about emotions, but cross wires, people saying, I love you when I don't, just to get what they want, can cause upset. So don't say things you don't mean. Just put your cards on the table, be honest. And if someone tells you they don't want commitment, hear them, don't try and force yourself on them, and be gentle as you reject someone as well, if that's what you're going to do. And impulsiveness, doing things without considering the consequences can lead to misunderstandings, and the emphasis on action and excitement can overshadow the need for emotional connection. So don't be seeking a hookup when what you really need is love. In terms of single and self-partnered relationship, it's a great time for a focus on yourself and your personal growth. It empowers you to set new goals and go after your interests. It boosts our confidence and self-esteem. It wants us to explore new experiences and adventures on our own, developing independence and self-reliance and love and acceptance and forgiveness. But negatively, the overemphasis on individuality can push away those we want to keep close, or push away a new potential partner, So, just watch out on, the focus on individuality, because it can get in the way of you maintaining a relationship. The impatience can, lead you to wanting quick results, and, this may not be the best for your own personal development or relationship growth as well. And the emphasis on yourself can lead to feelings of loneliness if not balanced with social interaction. So yes, have time on yourself, but also spend time with others if that's what you want to do as well. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how the Sun in Aries affects our career and other development. So in terms of our career development, it allows us to assert ourselves in the workplace and go after leadership roles and start new projects, but negatively, the competitive nature can lead to impatience and tension in the workplace. In terms of our personal development, it helps us to set personal goals, encouraging us to start new hobbies, fitness routines and creative projects. It's a time for self-improvement and building self-worth and esteem and confidence. Negatively, it can lead to burnout if we take on too much. Remember to pace yourself. Slow and steady wins the race. Get back up after each failure and maintain a healthy work-life balance. In terms of our spiritual development, it triggers a desire for spiritual exploration and a deeper connection with our higher self. It's a time for self-reflection and aligning our actions with our spiritual values. Negatively, without grounding, this energy can lead to restlessness and dissatisfaction with our current spiritual practices. In terms of our educational development, we can feel more driven to succeed academically, taking initiative in our studies and seeking out new learning opportunities. It's a great time to do well in school and go after additional courses. Negatively, it can lead to stress or an overly competitive mindset. Remember to focus on your own progress rather than comparing yourself to others. In terms of your self-partner development, it increases our independence and self-confidence, helping you focus on personal growth and self-love. It's a time to celebrate your individuality and embrace your unique qualities. Negatively, the focus on individual goals can lead to isolation if you neglect to nurture your relationships. Remember to balance your personal ambitions and goals with social connections or connections with a lover or with your higher self. So now I'm just going to finish up with the best things to do with this energy. So if you're more creative, look into creative brainstorming techniques, generate fresh ideas and innovative concepts, start new projects, explore different artistic or creative techniques, explore new ideas, push your boundaries, try something new. Don't hesitate to take risks and show off your work confidently. Professionals lead with confidence, set goals, define your personal objectives, create a strategic plan to achieve them, be proactive, go out there, look for opportunities, take charge of projects, assert yourself in the workplace, stand out, but don't, fall into competitiveness and trying to, compete with others. Just do your own thing. Allow your own authenticity to stand out. Showcase your skills and leadership abilities to make a lasting expression. Network and collaborate. Engage in networking opportunities and work with others to increase your professional goals. Entrepreneurs, use their energy to start new business ideas or expand existing ones. Embrace your entrepreneurial spirit and take brave, informed risks for growth. Stay ahead of the curve, the crowd, by introducing new products and services. Build your brand. Focus on building a strong brand presence and showcasing your unique value and what you're offering. Alternative healers, expand your practice, look into new healing techniques, use fresh approaches, take on a more holistic vibe in your healing strategies, take the lead in your healing journey, whether it's through new methods or expanding your services, engage in workshops or training to deepen your expertise and offer more to your clients, connect with your clients, use this energy to reach out to new clients and build meaningful connections. Lovers, reignite the trigger, the spark, create exciting experiences that bring thrill and joy into the relationship, try new activities together, strengthen your bond and communicate openly. Single and self-partnered people, embrace your independence, use this time to concentrate on your self-improvement and personal goals, engage in activities that bring you joy and happiness and work with your independence, nourish your mind, body and soul with self-care practices and positive affirmations, and set personal challenges. Give yourself, challenges to help you step out of your comfort zone and grow in new ways. So yeah, that's the end of this in-depth special on all things transit Sun in Aries. So thanks for listening, take care and see you next time.